Hello students, Jai Swaminarayan. I am Professor Urvish Mewada, HOD Electrical Department, Sri Swaminarayan Institute of Technology, Bhat, Gandhinagar. I am the subject matter of Power System 2, which is in the 5th semester Electrical Engineering, and GTU subject code of this subject is 3150911. Students, we are discussing the chapter number 2, representation of the power system components, and this is our lecture number 2. In lecture number 1, we have discussed one line diagram of the power system, and from one line diagram we form the impedance diagram, and we solve the related examples in the lecture number 1, and also we discuss the basic construction of the synchronous machine. Now today, this is the next subtopic of the synchronous machine, is the modes of operation of the synchronous machine. So let us discuss the which are the modes of synchronous machine. So before we study the modes of operation of the synchronous machine, we need to study, or we need to discuss the phasor diagram of the synchronous generator or synchronous machine. Now this is the phasor diagram under loaded condition, showing the fluxes, current and voltages in the phasor diagram. So let us start with the first parameter, that is VT. VT is the terminal voltage, and the from the VT terminal voltage to this is the armature current IA. So IA always lags to VT by somewhat angle, say phi. Phi is the power factor angle. Now in the direction of the IARA means resistive drop, means the in the armature the resistive drop will take place. So this is the IARA drop. Now from IARA drop, if we consider an impedance diagram, then from IARA drop exit 90 degree, the IA XL drop will take place. So this is the IAX or we can say synchronous reactance excess drop will take place. Now this is the resultant, is the field, means the we can say the terminal voltage which the EMF we get, that is ET. So if you want to write the equation of ET, then ET is equal to VT plus IARA plus GIAXS is equal to ET. Now this is E resultant. So this is the drop. If we consider only the say stator circuit, then this is the E resultant of this two. Okay, and now this we have the we can say phi t is the combination of the flux of field and flux of armature. The flux is total, so it is having the delta angle, or we can say phasor angle, between phi f and phi t. Now this delta angle describes the angle by which et leads to vt, called the load angle or torque angle. So by varying this angle, we can run our synchronous machine on the different modes. So this is delta that we are going to change for the different modes of operation of the synchronous machine. Now as we know that synchronous machine is a machine which runs on the synchronous speed. So and we give this machine the excitation in the, we can say, rotor field winding. So as we give rotor field winding, we have three different modes of operation, say normally excited, under excited and over excited. So excitation, we can give excitation to the synchronous machine by generally two way. One is we can increase the speed of the rotor by means by with the help of the, we can say, input of steam supply, or if we use that generator for hydro, then water supply. Means ultimately we are increasing the speed of the turbine, so as the rotor speed will increase, and so as the cutting action of magnetic lines of force in one rotation will increase, so that the EMF, or we can say terminal voltage of the generator, will increase. This is the first mode. Now second mode is we can give excitation in the field winding, and as we give the excitation in the field winding, so so as we can increase the field flux, and so as field flux increases, so more flux will cut by the stator conductor, and as stator conductor cuts the more flux, that will produce the more EMF. So this is the working principle of synchronous machine, and here the theta, that angle describes that the power factor angle, or we can say phi is the power factor angle, and delta is the angle by which the by which ET leads to VT, that called the load angle or torque angle that we are going to vary for the different excitation mode. Now in this vector diagram, we have given the name of each and every phasor. So from that phasor we can write this AB is equal to IA J IA XA, and VT is equal to EF minus J IA XA. So that we can write see ET is equal to VT plus J IA XA. So if we make VT as a subject, then that will be EF, or we can say EF minus JIXA. Now here we assume that linearity of the magnetic circuit voltage phasor EF, EI and VT are the proportional to the flux. So as the flux produces, the EMF will produce in the different sectors of the synchronous machine, so that the phi F, phi A and phi R is the fluxes of this respective voltages, and further voltage say phasor lag 90 degree behind the flux phasor. So basically this flux is produced by means of the inductor, so that the it lags to 90 degree with the terminal voltage, because phi is proportional to the current, and so if current lags to V by 90 degree, then flux will also lags to 90 degree by the terminal voltage. Now from the figure from that figure, the phasor AB is equal to minus EA, so is the proportional to the phi A. That is the proportionality between the flux and say a terminal voltage. So EA produced because of the phi A, and therefore the current IA. So and it is 90 degree leading phi A or IA with the direction of the phasor AB that indicated in the phasor diagram. So from that we can write the equation of AB is equal to JIA-XA. So this is the JIA-XA, or we can say X1, both are same. So where XA is the constant or the proportionality factor of the reactance, and in terms of the above definition XA, we can directly write the equation of EF is equal to VT plus JIXA. So here EF is equal to VT plus JIXA, because here we are neglecting the resistance of the synchronous machine, because it is very small compared to the reactance of the synchronous machine. That's why we can write EF is equal to VT plus J IAXS. So this here if we make the subject over here, you can see that VT is equal to then EF minus JIXA, where you have the voltage produced by the flux phi F alone. So that is no load EMF, and the circuit model of above equation is drawn in say figure number 4 that we study in the next consequent slides. Now the figure can be easily modified say in over here, just a moment. Yes, it can be easily said that VT is equal to E minus J IA XA. So here XA plus XF both XL is equal to XS, because we have the total reactance of the circuit is armature reactance and say the stator reactance. So that total reactance means is called the synchronous reactance. So XS is the reactance of both the stator as well as the rotor circuit. So from that here we can draw the circuit model of say round rotor synchronous generator. So this is the field say circuit of the synchronous machine. This XA is the armature reactance, and the VT is the terminal voltage that we get on the say on the terminal of the synchronous machine, and this is the ET, that EMF that we give to the input of the rotor circuit, and IA is the armature current. So this model is of synchronous machine can be further modified to the account of effect of the magnetic saturation. Why magnetic saturation occur? Because here we are using the field winding, and that field winding is wounded on the former, and that former is behaving like a electromagnet. So whenever we give a sufficient amount of current to that field winding, then we can say according to the flux density, means capability of the flux density of that material, the saturation will occur in the core material. So here we can give one example, that if we have a block say 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter, then it has the capacity to accommodate the flux lines inside the bar is say 1 square meter. So from that we can say that 1 meter cube. So we can say that in 1 meter cube it has the capacity to accommodate the flux lines, and if we increase further current of the field winding, then that bar of 1 meter by 1 meter by 1 meter will get saturated. So so that is called the magnetic saturation, where the principle of superposition does not hold. So here we give we put one more say reactance, that is xs, and xs is the combination of xa and xl, or if we can say x1. So these are the total reactances of say synchronous machine. So this is the circle model of round rotor synchronous machine. Here one reactance that is added, that is armature reactance, and the total reactance, that is the just because of this two addition of this two reactances is synchronous reactance. So we can draw a modified circuit from this circuit by adding the additional reactance of the circuit. Now so here we already discussed that the armature resistance Ra is invariably neglected in power system studies. Therefore, the place of the circuit model, the figure number 5 that we discussed in the previous slide, is simplified circuit of the figure number 6 will be used. So here the corresponding phasor diagram is given in figure number 7. The field introduced the EMF EF. Over here you can see that this is the EF leads the terminal voltage. This is the terminal voltage with an angle delta. So that is called the torque angle, or we can say load angle delta. This facts is the say condition for active power to flow out of the generator. So when this the EF leads to VT, that is called the say the active power. Whenever we have such conditions, say we EF leads to VF with an angle delta, then the active power say to flow out of the generator, the magnitude of the power say delivered depending upon the sign delta. So from that, in the motoring operation of the synchronous machine, the current IA reverse as shown in the figure 8. Over here you can see that the IA reverse. So so that the equation modified as EF is equal to VT minus J I access. So this is the terminal voltage equation. VT is equal to EF plus JIA access. So that is from that we can write the equation of EF is equal to VT minus JIA access. That represent the phasor diagram of figure number 9. This is the figure number 9. It may be noted that VT now leads to EF by delta angle here. Now EF is over here and this is the VT, so it is leading by the delta angle. So this is the fact that condition for the power flow into motor terminals, and the flow of reactive power and terminal voltage of the synchronous machine is mainly controlled by means of the excitation. So here, as we controlling the excitation, or we can say changing the reactances of the machine, we are getting different modes of say EF. Say in one case EF is leading to the VT, and second case EF is lagging to the VT by delta angle. But in both the cases, in first case the motor is delivering the power, or we can say active power, flow out to the generator, and this is the motor flow of the reactive power, means this motor is the absorbing the reactive power of the machine. So these are the mode that we can use to correct the power factor of the machine with the help of synchronous machine. Now normally a synchronous generator operates in parallel with other generators that we know, because we have the interconnected power system for the whole country, and that connected to the power system. So for simplicity of the operation, we shall consider a generator connected to an infinite bus. So here this is the generator, or we can say this is the synchronous machine which is connected with the infinite bus. Now this figure number 10 means, as infinite bus means a large system whose voltage and frequency remain constant, independent of the power exchange between the synchronous machine and the bus, and independent of the excitation of the synchronous machine. So this infinite bus describes the terminal voltage is constant, and that is independent of the change in the excitation and change in the power, means load angle. So consider now a synchronous generator feeding constant active power. This is the synchronous generator which is feeding constant active power into the infinite bus bar as the machine excitation is varied. So if we here we can only changing the machine excitation, means we can give the rotor field current, that is nothing but the machine excitation is only the variable function, and armature current Ia and its angle theta. So power factor change in such a manner that to keep Vt Ia cos theta, this is the equation of Vi cos phi, is equal to constant. So this is the active power output from the synchronous machine that is connected with the infinite bus. Now that means the Vt is fixed, the projection Ia, say cos theta of the phasor Ia on Vt remain constant while the excitation is varied. So phasor diagram corresponding to the to high, medium and low excitation are represented in the next consequent slide. So the equation will become Ef cos delta is equal to Vt. Then when Ef is the field means EMF that we get, and cos theta is the say power angle, or we can say load angle, and Vt is the terminal voltage. Now let us discuss the over excitation, normal excitation and under excitation mode. So here you can see that this is the EF which is leading to the Vt at angle delta. This is the EF which is the normal excitation mode. Over here it is means Ia and Vt both are in phase in the normal excitation, and under excitation the Ia leads to Vt by angle theta. So this defines as the normal excitation for the over excited case number, case figure 11a. So this phasor diagram of synchronous generator feeding the constant power as excitation varies. So Ef cos delta is greater than to Vt. Over here you can see that then Ia lags Vt, so that the generator feeds the positive reactive power into the bus. So or in other word, if we say that, or it draws the negative reactive power from the bus, so that we can improve the voltage regulation of the power system with the help of synchronous generator. Now for the under excitation, this is the figure number C. So Ef cos delta means less than to the Ef cos delta is less than to the VTIA. So this is VTIA, means here you can see that the magnitude of the this phasor is less compared to the Vt. So that leads Vt, so that the generator feeds negative reactive power into the bus, so that that can reduce the Faraday effect into the into the power system. And in other word, if we say that or draws the positive reactive power from the bus, so that we can by operating synchronous machine on in this three modes of excitation, we can inject or we can absorb the reactive power from the system, and we can improve the voltage regulation of the machine. Now this figure number 12 is the over excitation and under excitation mode. So over here it shows the over excitation and under excited cases of synchronous motor that are connected to the infinite bus. So here we already considered a generator which is connected with the infinite bus, and we have drawn the phasor diagram related to that. So with constant power drawn from the infinite bus here, so here you can see that EF is greater than 2 Vt, but it lacks 2 Vt by angle delta. So with constant power drawn from the infinite bus in overexcited case, this is the overexcited case, Ia leads Vt. Over here you can see that Ia leads Vt by theta angle. The motor draws the negative reactive power, or in other words, if we can say that it supplies the positive reactive power inside the machine. So while the under excitation case Ia lags to Vt, over here you can see that this Ia is lagging to the Vt by angle theta. So motor draws the positive reactive power. So means supplies and draws. So these are the main function while we operate this machine in different modes of excitation. So that we can improve the power factor of the transmission system, and we can improve the regulation, means we can minimize the regulation of the power system. So here in other words, if we can say that it supplies the negative reactive power in the machine. So these are the modes of excitation of synchronous machine, and from that we can write the equation, like consider now the power delivered by the synchronous generator from the figure number 7. So we can write P is equal to VI cos phi. So V is, we have VL line voltage, and IA is the armature current, and cos theta is the power factor angle. Now see, we are using the we can say sine law. So here we can write the equation EF by sine 90 plus theta, and over here Ia excess sine delta. This is the sine law. From that we can write the equation of Ia cos theta. So that is EF by excess sine delta. So here Vt Ia cos theta is equal to Vt EF cos excess sine theta. We have multiplied both the side with Vt. So Vt Ia cos theta is the P. So P is equal to Vt EF excess sine delta. So this is the we can say excitation, means power output equation with respect to the excitation of the synchronous machine. So over here you can see that whenever the sine means the load angle will become delta, or excitation angle will become 90, at that time we will get the maximum output. So the plot of P versus delta, means power versus the power angle curve, is called the power angle curve. The maximum power that can be delivered occur at delta is equal to 90. So this is the condition at which we get the maximum power. So P max is equal to Vt EF by XS. For P is greater than P max, so or delta greater than 90, the generator falls out of the step. So we need to maintain this angle delta to maintain the maximum power of the power system by means of the varying the excitation of the synchronous machine. So whenever our machine or whenever our generator is connected with the infinite bus, or we can say interconnected power system, this is the necessary condition to maintain the terminal voltage of the synchronous machine. And this terminal voltage can only maintain with the help of means by changing the excitation of the machine. So for a large excitation we can change the speed of the synchronous machine, or we can say synchronous generator. But for the small excitation, small load changes, we can change the excitation, means rotor field current of the synchronous machine, and we can maintain the terminal voltage of the synchronous machine. And the power maximum that we get when we keep the excitation delta is equal to 90, at that time we will get the maximum power P max. Now after this topic you have the assignment question, that is describe the modes of operation of the synchronous machine, and the instructions related to the topics which are written below the assignment question. So if you have any doubt or any query related to this topic, so we can solve your doubts and queries which arise after watching this topic. So we can solve in the doubts our doubt solving session. And also feel free to call me anytime to solve your doubt related to this topic. And please read all the instructions related to the assignment question. So you can take the snap of this slide. So thank you very much, student. Thank you all. Jai Swami Narayan.